Ooh, I'm gonna have to break out my.
Hey, where are we? G'day, hang on a minute. G'day, it's Saturday. I'm Lena, welcome to the show. I hope you had a good week. Okay, so this week we got some interesting stuff. We got tribal tattoos, scarring, face plugs, and jewellery. And we're going to take a look at the Black Mountains in Australia, where everybody disappears. And a week with nature. I'm going to tell you about the interesting week I had with nature. So before we start, we're going to see who's knocking on the door. Where's my doorbell? Ding dong. Ding.
Luna, we have a soundboard.
Oh, I need a soundboard, yeah. I am a soundboard. Hang on. Hey, how you going? G'day, Jules. Thanks for dropping in.
Hello.
G'day, Polly. Perfect timing, Polly.
You don't sound bored.
Did you hear that music at the beginning of the show? Wasn't that really cool?
Yeah, who was that guy?
Oh, it's this guy named Polly. He plays really awesome music, and he's letting me use it. So check it out, everybody. One Pollination. So, hey, all right. So here we are. I've had a week out of this world, I tell you. And I had a really late night last night, yakking away and yarning up. How was your week, Jules?
I see your week, and I raise your week by a whole round of lackluster, and I throw in the Ides of March.
The Ides. Oh, not
Here they come. Oh, the Ides slipped out.
Yeah, the Ides.
Jules, your Ides are showing.
They are. I had to put my nerd glasses on.
Actually, just before the show started, I wished I had started a bit earlier, because out of the blue I went, did you notice, Jules, if you put glasses on, it takes the haze away from the screen, and then she puts hers on. We both realised we had fingerprints all over them.
And I'm like, yeah, but it would probably help if they didn't have dust, cat hair, fingerprints, and probably gum that was dropped on them.
Yeah. Oh, g'day, Joe, our faithful Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Joe. Hey, future. So, all right. So we got the Ides of March. Before we get on, we got Donnie joining us today, hopefully. So I'm trying to save some of that stuff for him. The Ides of March, there's stuff happening everywhere. The animals are going crazy. The weather's going crazy. People are going crazy. Things are changing. We're in the midst of
I was going to miss your stream because I got caught up watching stuff about the eclipse and the comet and biblical prophecy and just stuff that's right up one's alley.
Yep, it's the Ides. It's the Ides. Hey, I want. Yeah.
Did you know that when this eclipse comes through, there's going to be 4 planets that are going to line up in the sky along with a comet that that should be visible.
Wow.
It was originally called the Millennium Falcon Comet, and they just recently changed its name to the Devil Comet.
Mm-hmm.
But the devil in tarot means change. But with this eclipse that's coming, the path that it's marking, it's coming across 8 different towns that are named Nineveh, of all names.
That's unusual.
And there's 2 broods of cicadas emerging in the same spot. One of them is a 17-year cycle cicada. The other one is a 13-year cycle cicada, and it's all going to be in one place. This place called Carbondale, which Carbondale is the number of man, 666, 6 atoms of that breakdown, and the start of the eclipse that happened in 2017 to the ending of the one that's coming up next month. 6 years, 6 months, 6 weeks.
What's that? You've been doing your homework. Wow, I didn't know
the Ides of March. This is around the time when things are going to pick up because we're getting into beltane season.
Yeah, true. I did notice that eclipse coming up in April. You fellas are going to have. I don't think we see it. You're going to have a couple of hours of darkness. Back in the old days, it would have been some creator being angry at us.
I'm also seeing that's information that I got from watching the religious Bible people, but there are others out there. The mainstream push in that area is prepare for blackouts, and then I looked into that, and I'm seeing a host of all other places like prepare for communications eruptions. So it's interesting.
I remember the last eclipse. It was a partial. It was in 2017, and nothing happened.
Yeah,
everything was fine. Everything was fine after. It was cool, but yeah, nothing happened. Don't get too excited, folks. Don't hold your breath.
Yeah, that's right. It's just
I'll probably be working anyway.
I don't know what to start with today, fellas. Let's start with we'll start with what I originally caught my eye. What originally caught my eye was these women in where is it? Hang on. These women had nose plugs in each side, right? And
how do they smell?
No, come on the side. You know where you got your nose pierced? I'm trying to get the pictures up here. They can still breathe, I think. Depends how far the plugs go in. Anyway, I thought that was unusual, and they were actually trying to outlaw it. And I'm thinking, why are you trying to outlaw it? It's everyone's got the right to decorate their body as they wish, and that's what started today's show topic.
Yeah, you were talking about tattoos, so there's still. I live in one of the top 3 most tattooed cities in the United States. There's a convention, a major big Comic-Con convention going on. Massive 3-day event. I have friends that are going to be standing in line for 7 hours for one autograph.
Wow.
I mean, the big noise this weekend is William Shatner is debuting his film at our old historic theater here. But getting back to what I was going to say about tying into tattoos, this is the first time I have ever remember seeing one of our local tattoo studios is going to be specializing in celebrity autographs tattoos. At the convention, you can get signed, and you can immediately get it inked.
Okay, if that's what Fletcher do.
I gotta get my name on somebody's body.
maybe there is a moral.
I guarantee you won't have to wait in line for 7 hours. I'll do mine in 20 minutes.
Yeah. And you get a discount.
Yeah. There won't be a lineup.
All right. I found the article. We'll start with an article, and then of course I sat up late too, making slides and stuff. But before we do, I need to put this up because we are talking about traditional tribal people, and we just got to do the right thing. So we pay our respects to all the ancestors and elders in all the lands our voices are being heard in today. Love to you on this day. Just to do the right thing for my people and other people's, because and I'll be issuing a few warnings. All right, so let's have a look at these nose plugs, eh?
And if I look retarded at any moment with these glasses, you guys can tell me and I'll take them off. But if not, I'm gonna rock them.
It might feel better.
Oh, I gotta get mine now.
It's the glare, man. I've got to have another sign. It's the glare. It's the glare.
I'll go get mine now. Can't be the only one without glasses.
Well, I mean, if you're over 40, go for it.
I usually use them just to keep my hair up. All right, face tattoos, nose plugs. And this is how the Patini women prevented abductions from tribal raiders. Mine are actually sunnies, they're not reading glasses.
Now it's official. I got to get some groovy glasses. These ain't kicking it, but I'm going to rock them.
Now I feel a lift out.
Got my steampunks on.
You got your steampunk? I'll put my bright glasses on here. How's that? No, that's too dark. I can't see nothing. All right, I've got to read. All right, so these women, what I found interesting is that they actually put the nose plugs in to stop being taken from their tribe by other tribes. So it was a thing to put people off.
It's definitely off-putting.
Yeah. Hey, you wouldn't want to have a bad drug habit, would you?
I don't even think my beer goggles will make those look better.
Bless them.
Yeah, they don't.
But I found looking around and looking at other mobs that they did a lot. There's other things they did to their bodies to stop people taking the women, which does happen. It happened in my mob. Neighbouring tribes are taking women for breeding and stuff. Anyway, it happened everywhere. And when we're looking at them, so we're looking at nose plugs, but they also have tattoos and some have body scarring. And I've noticed it's a common theme, not so much the body scarring, that I've got a little segment just for that, but the tattoos and the nose plugs and that, and the weird jewellery, which we're going to look at, is a common theme. So, all right, so these ladies have got nose plugs, and we'll just... there it is, with vertical lines tattooed across their faces and nostrils, blocked with huge black nose plugs. Women of the Patini tribe are anything but common. They look really happy. All right, so here's some more. Notice the chin one, because that's pretty prominent around the world.
They look Asian.
They are. That's the thing, we're going to find out. These are common things around the world for tribal people, and very many similarities we're going to have a look at. So what happens if you haven't got a big enough nose to put it in? That's what I was thinking. But as women, if we wanted people to not steal us, that's not a big deal for safety. All right.
I wonder if they still snore when they sleep.
Yeah, not if they take the plugs out. Anyway, I'm not laughing at them. I'm just laughing at everything. Don't worry. All right. So it says, well, most people.
For real, the real reason? The real reason why they did these things to their faces is to prevent them from being abducted, like so as to make them less attractive. That's why they did this?
Yes, it is, Polly.
That
Yes,
is
it is.
fascinating and also extremely heartbreaking.
It was that's what I'm saying. We're going to find it's a common thing. They're not the only ones that did stuff to them for that. There's a couple.
Wow.
It was either for identification, spiritual reasons, or to stop from getting stolen.
That's fascinating. To stop from getting stolen. Like when you go into a village and you pillage and steal. Yeah, well, leave that one. Look at her nose. Leave that one here. Like, we don't want that one.
Yeah, she actually something wrong with her. But that's what you want, hey? I'm typing in the chat room instead of doing the show. Hang on. All right, yeah. So, and it's not really a big deal. It's just a nose thing. Like, it's pretty common. They got earrings as well. I didn't do.
Yeah, they've got nice teeth.
I didn't do piercings anyway. Let's find out a bit more about these ladies. Okay, and I hope as usual, I hope I'm pronouncing everything right and not butchering it with my accent. Okay. Aboriginal women have a tattoo across their face called tipel, made out of a mix of pig's fat and soot from a fireplace. It's drawn on the face using a thorny plant. The thorn is placed on the skin and hit with a small hammer until the face is inked. That process too, a lot of native people that do tattoo their body, that's how they do it. They tap the little wood and go like that, or the islanders and that too. I've got a few little slides on that as well. This one is actually quite pretty lady. All right, the typical tattoo pattern consists of black lines that crosses a woman's face from the centre of the forehead down to the tip of the nose, and 5 other lines connect the lower tip to the chin. And it's funny, when we paint our faces with ochre in my mob, some similar lines, but we don't tattoo our face. We don't tattoo, we're scarers. But modern day Aboriginal people that can't access scarring go and get tattoos. That's the weird thing. They get the tattoos to tell their story instead of modern traditional scarring. But we still do have traditional scarring, as you'll see soon. I'll look out for the doorbell and make sure no one else is dropping in. All right, this is the darker origin. In the Zairo Valley, the Apatini tribe had coexisted with a number of other tribes. Among all, the Apatini women were known as the greatest beauties. So men from other tribes, tribal raiders, started abducting and forcibly marrying them. The face tattoos and nose plugs were thus introduced to prevent abductions and were not beauty standards in themselves, but instead were meant to cover up the beauty and make women unattractive to the tribal raiders. Her face was marked and her nose was pierced the day that Patini women reached puberty and had her first period. Yeah, because they'll take you, as soon as you can have babies, they'll take you. And it's all about breeding. Well, it's nothing malicious in it, it's just a natural thing. If they haven't got enough women in their mob, they need more women. And if they're of the right blood and they're not related to them, of course you're going to go and get women to have more children and make your tribe strong, because the more we have in your mob, the stronger it is. All right, so today, as we know, we don't steal each other. The aliens that abduct us. We do. Actually, that's a serious thing. People don't think that people get taken anymore. They actually do. Women and children and young men still get taken today, but we just don't hear about it unless you go looking for the news or something. All right, so today's trend, they're discriminated against. I suppose the younger generation doesn't see the point in doing that to yourself. Let's have a look. In the early 1970s, the Indian government banned nose plugs. It was said that they made the Apatini women easily recognisable and therefore prone to discrimination. A study by the IIT Guwahati researchers pointed out the stigma accompanied by acceleration and modernisation had played a role in this tradition being phased out. Hey, 4 years later from now, people are getting abducted. Are we going to put nose plugs in, ladies? And a lot of women, they got piercings and everything these days. I wonder if that's a put off. Maybe that's why they do it now. As a result, most of the women left with striking facial features are now in their late years because it's dying out. All right.
So it reminds me of the gauging that people do in their ears.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I've seen plenty, especially the fellas. They got them ring things in their ears, and they just put them bigger and bigger and bigger. And then when they take them out, their skin's just hanging. And I saw that, and I thought either they were a tribal person in their last life, or that's still coming. Like, it's still around. To us, it's no big deal. If I had showed you this stuff 30, 40 years ago, everyone would have been like, oh, things in your nose and piercings and tattoos. Oh my God. Now it's just everyday stuff. All right, what else have I got for you on?
So this tribe, they no longer really have to deal with rogue tribes invading and stealing their women right anymore, but they still do these things.
No, that's what that article was saying.
They don't. Okay.
They were banned. They wanted banned it. They wanted to ban it and stop it from happening because there's no need for it to happen anymore. I don't know why they ban it. Oh,
but they just do it anyways? It's like so ingrained?
No, I don't think the young ones do it anymore, Polly, because they're all pretty old women. Like, no one would steal them now anyway because they're kind of kids. So
that's a fascinating concept. Like,
yeah.
What a better way to fight something like that than to say, like, okay, well, our enemy likes this, so let's make it not likable anymore.
It kind of started. I get the sense that it started out like the burqa.
Yeah.
I mean, you're still. I mean, that one thing identifies you with this mob.
Yeah. And things change. Like, just look at normal humans over the centuries. Things change. Like I said, in the old days, in Northern Hemisphere, the white ladies, if they showed their ankle, that was like, oh my God, we can't do that. That's a shame, Now they wear shorts that disappear into their body.
They did that up in the States throughout up past the Civil War. I remember in my younger days traveling and visiting old antebellum homes that had the whole floor mirror. So literally when the girl, the madam, the lady, a female, whenever to answer the door, that mirror was there so she could pull her dress down to cover her ankles before she opened the door.
Wow. So that's what I mean. So they stopped putting mirrors in for that reason when it didn't matter if you showed your ankles anymore.
I have a really hard time controlling myself when I see a pair of really nice ankles.
This is really oh man, we're going off topic here. The other day I was talking to one of my friends and he was telling me he knows a chick that does OnlyFans, but what she does, she dresses up old fashioned like that and she just shows her ankle and
do these shoes make my ankles look fat?
Okay, all right, back to what we're doing. All right, so we're looking at some lip plates and that now, and we got an article from Jane McLean, who's Jane McLean, who's a photographer. Just let's have a look. All right. Sorry. All right. Laughing a lot's good for you, man. There's a conspiracy against laughter. All right, so check this out, okay? we'll have a read to see if they've done this for the same reason, or whether they do it for a tribal, spiritual reason.
I'm sorry, but it looks like she's trying to swallow a frying pan the wrong way.
After the show's over, I'll tell you about that synchronicity. I'm actually writing my project is taking me with a frying pan.
Poor lady. All right.
Can she fry an egg, though?
Oh, my.
I'm sorry.
No.
Probably
Okay,
if you
that's not
stand in the sun long enough.
I'll be good.
Solar cooker.
As long as we can laugh at ourselves later, we'll be fine.
Later, I laugh at myself every moment.
Same. All right, so what have we got here?
I could cook an egg.
Yeah, but so can I on a hot day out the front on the road. All right, what Ethiopian tribes wear lip plates? The Suri tribe, Masi tribe are two of the ethnic groups collectively known as the Suma tribe. These are indigenous Ethiopian tribes in southern Ethiopia, Omo Valley. The Masi tribe are closely related to the Suri tribe, and they share a similar culture. The Mercy tribe are in the lower Omo Valley. I keep reading the same thing. Live in traditionally, the women in both of these African tribes wear lip plates. Why do they wear lip plates? Let's see. I'll go through this. As usual, I haven't read it all. I discovered it with you. I'll just find it, have a quick look, and think it's appropriate, and then put it in. So it attracts the tourists. People pay to go and see them. And they've got a park called Mago. This is what I found interesting. Mago National Park. We've got a park called Mungo National Park. And I might go and check out their park and see if it's like ours and what stories it has. So they get mandatory armed scouts and they escort them around the tribal village, and they pay for it so they can see these women wearing these things. Well, that's one way to make money, I suppose. Maybe they should go on OnlyFans. Excuse me. All right. What I want you to notice here, see her tribal marks, her tribal scars. Okay. So they not only wear lip plates, but they have body scarring as well. Check the door.
I wonder if it rains and you're wearing a lip plate, do you just drink the rain that falls on the lip plate, or do you let it fall off the front?
I don't know. They might take it off, wash it, and put it back on. Hey, g'day, Ken. How you going, bro?
I'm just trying to think of some uses for this.
G'day, Forever Flowers.
Like if you were really hungry and you didn't have a spoon, that would be handy.
You can actually buy these on eBay, like go online and buy them, and they'll send them to you. It said beautiful handmade lip plates, and I'm thinking they're new, thank goodness. But you know,
can you buy used ones?
Probably they'd be called antiques or artifacts.
So I have a question.
Yes.
And pardon my ignorance, but the faceplates that the Mercy tribe that they use, does that have anything to do with death, ceremony, burial? I'm only thinking because, like, you know, when pirates, when they were gone, they wore their gold earring and they had their gold to pay for their death at sea. Do you know, or is that a custom? Is that a tradition among tribal people as a way to cover death expenses, burial expenses?
I'm never going to find out if I read this bit. And I've got a feeling we're going to find out it's the same thing as the last one. They did it so they wouldn't get stolen. So, all right. Like many traditions and cultural history of tribes, the stories are passed down verbally from each generation. Local elders in villages and local guides can have different opinions based on what they've been told. There are a few theories on how the lip plate tradition started, but it is something that will never be 100% known. It is mostly commonly believed that it was to disfigure the girls and women to make them less attractive from slave traders. Then in time, the Mersey and Missouri tribe lip plates had become as much loved and wanted symbol of beauty. The lip plate process begins when a girl is 15 to 16, and it soon becomes linked to fertility and eligibility to marry. So there you go. We just saw something that was for safety turn into a custom. So we'll check the scar now. They haven't got face scars. Notice they haven't got tattoos or face scars. They've got the lip plate and body scars. So
I wonder how easy it is to talk with one of those things in.
I don't know. You can go and try it out when we get offline, probably. No. That one.
I think I have a spare frisbee. Yeah, I might do that.
No, but like I said before, it's sad that they had to do this to stop from being stolen. But it was so common that it became part of their customs and cultural ways. So, what have we got here? The men pay the chosen girls. This is what you were talking about, Joel. The men pay the chosen girl's father with cattle for marriage, and the bigger the lip plate, the more cattle it will cost. The women understand how much their husbands have paid for their Mersey or Suri tribal marriage, and wear their symbolic lip plate when they serve food to them or in celebrations or ceremonies. That's like reminding them, eh? So, girls, do we do anything like that in this modern day age?
Nope. I got no dowry saved up.
Hey, I'm a poor ass mother. I got nothing.
But I will say that there are some women who wear makeup that actually makes them look worse than when they when they don't wear it. So there is something similar, but I don't know if that's due to ignorance or misapplication.
Probably both. Each to
Probably
their
both.
own. Yeah. However, makeup's for old age. Anyway.
Well, no. See, this would be a practical way to use those lip plates. Like if they signified an age or like some kind of status, or. But I was a little bit taken aback when you said that some of these reasons are just to prevent them from being taken by other tribes. I didn't expect that. I thought it was more of a ceremonial type thing and a symbolic thing.
Yeah. A lot of people they fall in love with the idea of tribal ways and all that, and I can understand that. It's actually a beautiful way to be. It's a proper way to be anyway. But behind that beauty and falling in love with all that beautiful stuff is survival, and a lot of things were made for survival, purely survival only. And there is no fancy flash thing to answer it. So, all right, let's keep going. Where was I?
And now people are doing this same thing. They're not even from these tribes. They're in the Western world, and they think it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I found that really strange. But that's what I said before. What energy has come for modern day people to replicate tribal people all over the world? Because we're talking about tattoos, piercings, the plates and the ears, even body modification, scarring. Like we're doing it today.
And don't forget branding.
Yeah, or the whole lot, man. We're doing it today. What is it? Is it our memory from past lives, or is it another energy come in that's reawakened all this stuff? Like if you look at it from that point of view, it's quite interesting.
It is, yeah. That's a good question too. I can't answer that question.
But and it's getting more so. People are decorating their body.
It's like a paradox almost. We're before now it was done to mutilate on purpose, and now like mutilate for the purpose of making something less attractive or hide something basically. And now it's to showcase something. some kind of virtue, I guess, or some kind of self-expression, or because there's white people all over the place walking around with huge ear things in their ears, and I've even seen a few lip plates, not that big, but
I've seen most of the ear
I
ones,
wonder how you eat soup with one of those things.
and I have seen a couple of nose ones.
In my mind, I have a visual on that, Polly.
You haven't got mind division.
So do I. That's why I gotta see it. Gotta see it in action.
All right, where was I? Oh, the lip plates can be made of wood, clay, but most often clay, often decorated with patterns and paint from their local resources, especially the lip plates.
Well, if they're clay, you wouldn't want to eat a lot with that.
I know they take them out. I've seen them take them out and wash them and stuff a lot before or after food. Do lip plates hurt? No, they wouldn't, because it just stretch. Ask anyone who's got those things in their body, and you just stretch them out. It hurt at first. They have a little hole in there. All right, we'll find out. Once the lip has been stretched to the desired satisfaction, it does not hurt. When the girls begin puberty, their mother usually starts the process by inserting a small wooden stick below the lower lip. That's where people get puce these days. The wooden stick is replaced by a bigger stick, plugs, and then clay disc. And that's what they do today. Like I said, they start with a little one. And they keep stretching the lower lip. During this process, the lip can get infected, and it can also break if stretched too quickly. Oh, imagine having a broken lip. Oh my God.
Talking about a real busted lip.
Yeah, it is not.
Is that where the term breaking the silence comes from?
Loose lips sink ships.
They sure do.
All right. And if you're wondering where that comes from, we'll get into that later. All right. Lip sections dangling, pointing downwards to the ground. 2 to 4 of the young girls' bottom teeth are also removed. That's interesting, because we're going to look later that we do that in our mob, but not for the women, for the men. So their teeth are removed, modification process, so the lower lip and mouth can hold the plate. There you go. So to have that plate in, they've got to remove some of the teeth. The lip plates are also called lip discs or lip plugs. Certain processes of getting the lip plate do hurt, but once it has been created to the desired size, there is no more pain. Okay. So, do they still wear lip plates? Look, there's a whole range of people. They're actually quite beautiful. The tribal tradition of the lip plate is a girl's choice. That's a good thing. And many of the younger generation are choosing to discontinue this practice. The government has also put pressure on stopping this practice, as it can lead to infections and cause serious health issues. The men highly regarded the traditional lip plate culture, but most seem to respect the wishes of the girls and on their decision. With this change, it is only a matter of time. There will be no more lip plates in the Omo Valley tribes. The Surma people are currently one of the last tribal groups in Africa where it is still normal for women to have lip plates. So there you go, that's fading out too. And then we've got body scarification, which I've got some slides there for you. Because this is another form of decoration. We'll use it for, I'll get in that, I'll explain. I'm waiting for Donnie actually to pop in when I talk about it, because there's...
Donnie, oh Donnie, where art thou, Donnie?
Yeah, Donnie, what you doing, bro? I rang him earlier, I had a yarn to him, he must have forgot. All right, so before we go on, my brother-in-law is from Africa, and he's passed away now, bless him, but he had the tribal marks down his face, and I've got a picture of one of those. And my niece, who was the firstborn of the family when he married my sister, she was supposed to get the tribal marks as well. And she was supposed to go back to Africa to get it done. But because she lived here and she's very beautiful, us women got together and had a talk and kind of said no. And if she wants to do it when she's a bit older, because they do it when they're young, right? She wants to do it when she's older, we'll send her back to Africa to get it done. And as it turned out, she didn't want to get it done. And as you know, Aboriginal mob are matriarchal, so the women have kind of the last say. And we said no, and he said, well, that's the way it is. Okay, he agreed with that, even though he's African. And in our mob, the men come to the women, not the women go to the men. So he has to listen to what we say because he married into our family. So this is the body scarring. And the fact that he had, in his mob, the fact he had this thing signified that he was like the chief's son and stuff like that, right? And that's why one of the kids had to get it done. So when they looked at him, they knew that that family belonged to the chief bloodline. So anyway, it didn't happen, and as it's saying, it's fading out because as they move out and have children, it don't happen anymore. So there's some pictures of that, and we'll move along because we've got heaps of stuff, and we spent half an hour doing that. All right. Oh, there's an ear one. See that one? There's the ear.
That one's actually pretty cool looking.
Yeah, right. Tis. All right, what else have we got for you? I can read a bit more of that, and I need a drink of water. And we'll wait a bit more, and we'll have a break at the hour.
Okay, the ear ones, the ear
Pardon?
discs, those ones.
These ones?
I always thought had an actual practical purpose.
Like?
Yeah, because let's say you're hunting. You want to hear everything that's going on around you, and that would probably increase your hearing a little bit. At least that's what I used to think. Like, they just put those in their ears so they can hear better. Because like, if you put your hand up by your ear, you can hear more stuff.
Yeah,
so why wouldn't that do the same thing? That was my ignorant white interpretation of it. Because, they've got to be efficient hunters, so they might need to hear better.
Perhaps, yeah.
It was really funny meeting when I met my brother-in-law because he come from a country where things eat you and nothing eats you here, right? Mm-hmm. And at the time, we were living out in a property in the middle of nowhere, and he come to visit us. He wouldn't even get out of the car, and I'm trying to convince him there's nothing here that will run up and eat him, but because it was so inbred in his blood, he wouldn't get out of the car. It was so funny. I was laughing because we're in the middle of the nowhere here. Anyways, I'm missing my brother. So what is it? Love to those that we have lost and prayers for all of us that are left behind. So there you go, lip, nose plugs and lip plates, and it goes across Asia into Africa. And what else have I got for you? Pardon?
What do you think that the elders feel about the sort of... I'm wondering how the elders feel about this sort of tradition, or whatever, for lack of a better word, tradition, now that it's not very practical to use it anymore. Are they discouraged that it's being phased out? Like, do they want to keep this as a way of preserving some sort of a nostalgic relationship to their ancestors, or do they see the practicality of not doing this to your lip or your ears?
I'd say the younger generation are looking at it. I don't see the point of having it. I don't want to do that to myself. And the older ones, they would. You get accustomed to customs, and when you see them dying out, because in my own mob, I see like there are certain things that are dying out, and when I see them, I know that in a couple of generations, no one's going to remember how to do it, and it will go, and that's really sad, regardless of whether it's a disfigurement or whatever, like just because it was something old that's disappearing. But then, Polly, like we said, you look around at the young people today and they're all got a different thing. They've got piercings, nose plugs, tattoos, body modifications. So it's still in the air, even though it's fading in generations.
But
The
it's
new ones
just
that are
used for the
popping up,
opposite effect.
yeah, it's used. I'm sure
It's used now as a way of beauty.
expression, yeah, expression and inner, yeah. So I don't think it'll ever go away. It'll just go up and fall back down in a different form by the looks of it. That's what
Yeah.
it looks like. As it's disappearing, it's going up, and the energy's coming back down and falling into the new babies that are born and have been born in the last 30 years. Do you know what I mean? So
I just thought of something that's a little bit off topic, but with the lip plates, I would not want to go swimming with a lip plate.
and now I was thinking you might drown.
Well, I mean, unless
You'd be like one of those lures.
Of wood.
Every time you took a stroke, you'd go sink down further.
I'm sure they don't swim very much in Africa. Like here in Australia, the water has things living in it, and you need to test it before you go in low and get eaten. Oh, you do get
Right.
eaten. That's about the only thing that eats you here is the crocs. All right. What have we done? We've done nose plugs, lip plates. What's that I got there? What haven't we looked at? Let's have a look.
Have you seen those piercings that some of these tribes have where it's like a piece of wood that goes through that piece of skin right here between your eyes on top of your nose? And they've got like sticks that go all the way through.
Yeah. Actually,
What are those for? They seem like they'd be annoying to wear.
I didn't do piercings. That's the only thing I didn't do. But even in our mob, up top, the nose, the bit of bone in the nose in New Guinea and that, they have that.
Mm-hmm.
But people are getting them too, Polly. I've seen people with metal things sticking out of their brow and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, the goths.
From my personal collection.
Oh, there you go. Jules has got a picture. Hang on, Jules. I'll put you up bigger. Can I put you up bigger?
Bro, it's only a 5x7.
Oh, yeah, that's it. There you go. Has he got a snake in his mouth?
Yeah, and he's got no. I believe he's got nose thing through his nose. The story of this picture: when I moved into this place, this was left behind by my grandfather. It's got a date of 1957 on the corner, and he was a missionary. This was from one of his missionary adventures. Nobody knows anything of that picture. The only thing that I can get from it is that it was taken in 1957.
Wow.
Somewhere in South America.
There you go.
Right. It's the year of the snake. Why not?
Yeah, right. Talking about snakes. Why not?
See, how'd you like that segue I did for you, Luna?
So actually, yeah, that's another thing. I want to finish this. We still got scarring, body scarring and stuff to do.
I was a little early. My bad.
Well, that's all right. I could chuck it in sideways and confuse everybody. Where were we? Oh, where was I?
We've all had premature segues.
All right. So what are we doing? I've got some slides now, I think. I know what I'm looking at. Wait a minute. I'm getting a little confused. Okay, we got that one. So we're doing tattoos. We're up to body tattoos now, and then I've got body scar, and I'm still waiting for Donnie. I'm going to do the body scar.
I got scars and I got tattoos.
Okay. So, yeah, looking at the tattoos, I made some slides, but what caught my eye was in Croatia. They actually got traditional tattoos. The Croatian women, we're going to have a look now. Ding. Croatian women tattoo their arms and their face. They were the last people I thought that had tribal tattoos, but I'm really happy that they do, because it just shows you that we all come from a tribe once. Okay.
Almost looks like henna.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does. I could have went all out and actually got there's a little printout of all the different tattoos and what they mean and all that, but I just would have done a whole show just on this, and I like to give you a bit of variety. So, all right, so we'll have a look at these. We'll check out the pictures first. These are a nice old one. They got them on their chest as well, and their hands. There you go. And I presume they did the same old way with the stick. There's a little pattern, or some of the patterns.
They have all that ancient symbolism. Look at the cross.
And kind of reminds me of snowflakes, and reminds me of some Native American and African patterns as well. Yeah, I found it really interesting.
And there's also the plant-like things there at the top in the middle.
Yeah.
Like rosemary or some kind of olive branch maybe or something.
They look like snowflakes, these ones. And not the ones you get today.
Yeah, totally snowflakes. And you know what? The other ones look like cymatic patterns.
Yeah, hey. They do, don't they? A certain song.
They really do. Yeah.
So that's the song.
They look almost identical, all of them.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's have a read, eh? See what we've got. Then I'm going to have a break because I'm sick of reading.
That's such a cooler way of writing music.
In cymatic patterns. And if you go back and look at all the symbols you've seen from Egyptian, like all the way back, and everything that you've researched and all that, go back and look at them as musical symbols, right? They're making a cymatic pattern from sound, and you'll discover a whole new world in what they're saying to you. It's a whole new world to be discovered. That's the one they've been keeping from us. All right, so these women have got cymatic patterns and that information. It's information tattooed on their hands. All right, let's have a read. A tattoo as a traditional probably wouldn't be the first thing to cross one's mind out Croatia. Surely wasn't, I tell you. Still, it is. Traditional symbols are connected to Christianity, and the custom itself is even older and can be traced centuries back in history around these areas. 1,000 years long tradition of tattooing their hands to Croat women in Bosnia and Herzegovina still bring back memories. They had been tattooed as little girls, some obliged to, and some expressing their wish. This tradition originates from the places once occupied by the Turks in the time of the Ottoman Empire. Its purpose was to prevent the kidnapping of young Christian women and their conversion to Islam. Here we are again, all in different place, different country, doing the same thing, tattooing their bodies to stop from being stolen. Wow, this is a common pattern, hey? Anyway.
So I guess I need to go get more tattoos so I'm not stolen.
Yeah, hey.
I mean, it is. I mean, Grub just brought up a good point over here in chat that it looks like pick tattoo. The picks were, or the barbers, and it is ancestral. I mean, from the Pictish folk, I go way back, and I still a good tattoo I'll look at.
Yeah. Thanks for doing that, because I'm reading the article. I can't see the chat at the moment because I only got one screen and I've got to put everything on. All right. Thanks for that information, Greg. Where was I? Symbols, ornaments from older period. Okay. So that's to stop them from getting stolen. According to the writings of archaeologist and a custodian of the National Museum in Sarajevo, I will not say the other two words, who was researching the pre-Ottoman Bosnia and Herzegovina in the 19th century. The origins of this custom could be in the Lyrian and Celtic tribes of their rituals, around these areas. Even the simple tattooing needles were found in tombs for those days. They used needles, so that's pretty up there, right?
How did they stay sanitary back then, making these tattoos?
Oh, they would have had plants that were disinfectant plants, antiseptic plants. We had them. Tea tree.
Would they put the needles in the fire to help sterilize?
Probably they would have heated them up, washed them in some plant that had properties, and I mean, they
So
lived
do you
for a long
think that
time.
do you think that these people actually paid a conscious attention to being clean about when they did tattoos, or
Oh yeah,
like how would they know to even bother?
because you get infected and die. Didn't have
Well,
antibiotics back then.
that's what I mean. So like with the first tattoo, like that person just died and everybody kept making tattoos, or like
No, they would have known. In our mob, they make a little pack and they pack plants and they into the room. It's antiseptic and heals it, so the scar comes out. They would have done the same. They would have had something to put on it. And
it
I'll tell
seems
you,
like one of those things to me. Like we didn't just figure out tattoos. We were taught how to make tattoos. I don't think that you can just stumble upon a tattoo by accident. Oops, I fell on a needle.
no. Well, the other mobs use bamboo and sticks and they tack it into your skin, the Asians and the Islanders. So obviously it came about somehow.
Yeah.
And each mob's different, like each mob's different of how it come about.
And they all use different inks.
Mm-hmm.
They would, depending on the area they come from. Yep. Whether they got actually.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking like tribes that are old tribes that going back before colors were abundant.
Mm-hmm.
You had to like make your colors.
Well,
or you had to wait for the trade to come down from the Orient with the pigment.
Yeah, you would. I don't think they had many colors.
Crushing bugs to make red. And you got the oracoke out of the ground.
So the traditional symbols are crosses, sometimes tattooed around the women's wrists so that they look like bracelets. The cross also has its variation with a sort of small pine trees. It also has non-Christian motives, but everyday motives like the circles originated from the sort of circular dance in the villages, meaning a union of collectiveness. The lines around the circles could be associated with mills as an inherent part of life. The lines also represented small branches and together with a circle form a special design called Jellica, girl's name, and also a small pine tree. Jellica is a small pine tree and a girl's name. This means that two sorts of symbols were mixed, one originating from nature and family in Lyrian times, and the other with Christian motives was added later and was given a new meaning. So it kind of came as an identification, you know, what area you're from and stuff like that. Cool.
I'm wondering what kind of adversary would take a look at a woman, a beautiful woman, and if she had a tattoo on her arm, be like, nah, you can keep her. But I don't understand how that is so deforming that you would not want to still steal her or whatever they did back then with them.
Depends how desperate you are, I suppose. I know. All right, so there's more. The most resembling symbols can be found on the old tombstones around the villages in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Still, in those hard times, the Ottoman invasions between the 15th and 19th century, the attention wasn't merely to ornate the body, but to protect women from being kidnapped, or in this case, to help them remember their real Christian faith if forced to be converted. Kids are usually girls were being tattooed between 12 and 16 as a sort of initiation, according to historians. of these areas. Still, some were tattooed even younger at the age of 6. Timing is also connected with the 19th of March. The Ides, it's the Ides again, Polly. A holiday of Saint Joseph, who is the official protector of Croats since the 17th century. Bloody March, man. Yeah.
It's the craziest month of the year. I'm convinced. There's so many things that happen in March, and I'm just noticing this year. But it's always been that way.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many things. The 19th is specifically this year, the spring equinox, but that's only because we had an extra day because of the leap year.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't want to get into a rabbit hole on that.
Yeah, no, that's all right. Okay, so we're nearly done with this article. And this might answer your question about how they did it. The ceremony of tattooing was also called Sisanji or Bokanje, probably brutalizing it. It was usually done by older women applying a needle and a mixture of charcoal or gunpowder and honey or milk. Usually after the symbol had been written on the body, the ink covered mainly hands or surrounding wrists, as well as fingers, forearms, sometimes upper arms and chest. Interestingly, a very common place was also on the forehead. It was a painful procedure, according to the older women today, but they say mostly it was worth the pain. The next day or in a week, the place of the tattoo would heal. It was washed and the ink stayed in on the skin.
Well, that's interesting because the healing time was fast then. Because a modern tattoo, it takes days to heal.
Ooh. There's a bloke with one. That's a bloke. Oh, yeah, on your kneecap.
I bet
Yeah, that would hurt.
So if you've ever had a tattoo, you know what it feels like.
And they hurt. They hurt when they're on the bone. The ones that I have, the one that are on flesh, nothing, and then the one I have on my ankle that was right on bone, that's a whole story itself.
It depends where your nerve endings are. And my friend who's a tattooist, he told me that he can get really big burly fellows in there and he tattoos them and they're going, ow, 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 and then he gets little tiny people in there and they can handle anything. It's really funny. I think it's how the nerve endings are dispersed across the body.
There was a part of my tattoo that actually felt good, and while the tattoo artist was doing it, they asked me, "Are you okay?" Because I wasn't moving at all, and I was like, "That actually feels really, really good."
That's how it was with my butterfly tattoo.
Something on the collarbone, I guess it was resonating like just the right way or something, and it didn't hurt at all. It almost
and it's so weird that my butterfly tattoo didn't sting or burn or at all. I was like, more color, and even the tattoo artist was like, I think we're done. And after it healed, that's been decades ago, but it still feels like when you lightly touch it, it feels like butterfly's wings.
Oh.
The rest of the tattoo hurt like hell, but that part up here, right on the collarbone, it was specifically on the collarbone. And they were expecting me to be like, a little bit jolty because it usually hurts. And I'm like, that feels good.
And it's on this side? It's on your left collarbone?
Yeah, right. It's
funny. I got one on my left collarbone and the same thing. My mate's going, are you okay? Is it hurting? I said, no, funny enough that it's actually quite relaxing.
Yeah,
it
felt almost like a massage.
Yeah, well, the vibration of the gun was it was actually shaking everything, and it's like, hey, this is quite relaxing, man.
Mm-hmm.
Have you? Yeah, anyone who's had a tattoo on the shoulder blade?
Maybe I'll get my next one on my collarbone.
Tell us. Yeah, it's quite interesting. All right, so we're going to go and I've got some slides of tattoos. Quickly, it's just saying that in the late 50s, after the Second World War, it was forbidden to get the tattoos for these women, but it didn't mean it was gone forever. So because back then in the 50s, having a tattoo was like, oh, you're a terrible person if you've got a tattoo. I know an auntie, she's got a scar from ear to here because when she was young, she went and got a tattoo. And then when she had kids, because back then it was really bad to have one because all the mothers were looking at her in a certain way, she went and had it removed. When I met her, I went, oh, that's really sad, Auntie. If you just had it hung in another 10 or 15 years and not got rid of it, it would have been okay to have. And she's still got a big scar on her arm. So they outlawed it. Now it's back because you can't tell people what to do.
Yeah, and on the other hand, I told you guys about the tattoo artist at the convention this weekend. I went to the gym the other day, and inside the gym, there's this big old table of a tattoo removal company.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think they do both services now. They've got tattoos, and then in the other shop up the road, they've got tattoo removal. I do know people that had names and stuff put on their body, and life changes and things changed. They had to go and get them either taken off or recovered.
Cover up.
Cover up would be better than a big scar.
I wonder if you can use like tattoo removal to do like a reverse tattoo.
I don't know, but the tattoos they're gonna have in the future, they've got ones that change colour and everything now. Like they'll have holographic tattoos in the future. You watch. So these are the modern Croatian women. They're taking what their elders had and still being proud of it. They should be proud.
I think they should be. I think it's good.
Yeah.
I think it's decorative. Why would that be off-putting to anybody? I don't understand.
They should be proud. So, all right. So there you go, the Croatians, and who would ever think? I would never think that, but there you go. Now we know. What else have we got? Any more articles? Fate Stadium, we know. River, body art, antiques, Croatian tattoos. Oh, I've got some good antique jewellery, man. Ooh,
nice.
No, we're up to the slides. We're up to the slides. All right. And I've got some funny animal videos. All right, so we're up to the slides. Let's stop sharing. Stop sharing. Get rid of this page. Go back. Where's my beautiful slide? All right, before we do this, I have to flash this up again. Where are we? Okay, we're here. Traditional tribal tattoos. Let's have a quick look. Quick look at what's going on. All right. Should have music in the background, eh? Oh, I'm getting the hang of that. All right, so this is the Philippines. Now, check out the symbols and that, because there's this commonality of certain patterns I found. Because that's very different. That's a lot like what we just saw with these patterns.
Those would hurt.
Yeah, right. I thought that too. I was looking at them last night going, oh, that's close. That would hurt.
Yeah. No, that would hurt.
That's from the Philippines. This is the Islanders, the Samoans. So they got the stick. Look at the guy. Look at the look on the guy's face. I'll make it bigger so you can have a good look. There you go.
Oh yeah, he's not excited.
Yeah. I'm not here. It's not happening.
Or maybe he's had so much ayahuasca that he doesn't even know where he is.
And look at the old fella. He's just working away like it's a piece
of he's got his ears gauged.
Yeah.
I think they all do.
It's Japanese.
Oh, that's a gorgeous tattoo.
Yeah, right. Look at it. There's not an inch of skin left behind.
My brother-in-law is like that.
Yeah.
He's got his skull tattooed.
Whoa. Imagine your brain vibrating.
The only thing that's not tattooed is his face, and that's the worst part of his body. I hope he hears that.
And then we've got Native American tattoos, face tattoos. They look a little bit like the Maori people, Maoris. And there we go. I do have friends that have their face tattoo. My friend who's cultural practitioner, we work together sometimes. I'm trying to pin her down to get an interview with her and her husband. It'd be so very interesting, this interview, but I've got to pin them down. Everyone here's too busy or they live too far away. There we've got Asia.
I wonder if these people got angry when Mike Tyson tattooed his face.
Oh, that's right, he did too. He did. So all over the world. These are Egyptian, I know, Celtic or something, but just showed that they tattooed a very, very long time ago. This is from one of the bodies.
Yeah, that's the widget, the eye of Horus and the eye of Ra.
Hand tattoos. Sorry about the mummified body, but I just wanted to show you how old this tradition is.
R.I.P. thing.
And then we've got the
It's incredible that the tattoo stayed that well preserved.
Yeah, that's
I know. It was the same thing.
Yeah, it stayed on the skin that whole time. Look, you can see the ones on the side there as well. And then we got the Celts and their tattoos. So everybody had them. It was the thing of the day. The thing of the day. All right, what else have we got for you here?
There is this sort of concept of tattoos being sort of like used the same way a talisman would be used. Like to bring some sort of energy or like bring protection or things like that. I'm pretty sure tattoos had that at some point.
Okay, so we're going to Africa and New Guinea, and then we'll go to Australia. I don't know where Donnie is. I only wanted him here. Like I said, there's men and women tattooed, scarred. All right, where are we? Africa and New Guinea. Now, the interesting thing about this fella's one from New Guinea, his tattoo, I'll just get rid of that banner so you can see properly. Sorry, people. My terrible. Okay, so see that tattoo here, if you have a look at the pattern, that's from the crocodile tribe. He's from the crocodile tribe. And that's their pattern, their tribal pattern. It's absolutely beautiful, I thought. It's a stunning.
That's not a tattoo, though.
Sorry, tattoo, body scarring. Thanks, Collie. I need a break.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, that's incredible.
We're up to the hour. I need a break. Yeah, that's body scarring. Bloody beautiful, I thought it was. From the crocodile tribe in New Guinea. So,
do you think that was all done at once, or does it take a while to do that?
I'd be in sessions because you've got to wait for it to heal. It'd be in sessions. So they would do maybe the big fat lines in the middle and then the ones on the outside. Like, it'd be done over the course of a period of your life when you were young, becoming a man, I'd say.
That would be painful. I mean, like, I can't help but think of reverse puberty. I mean, when you get the zit, it's like, oh my God, now you're purposely creating them.
Here's some facial scarring from Africa. Here's some more body scarring.
How do you get it to scar like that?
I know, I'm mesmerized.
You treat it. It's the way you treat it. The herbs and that you use, and the way you cut it. Now, this one in the middle, that's what my brother-in-law had on his face, them scars down his face like that. The middle one. Hey, check that one out. Right? He doesn't look like much. He's a little thin man, right? But his body scarring tells you that he's a very brave and generous man. That's what it tells you. Okay.
That's like, I'm sorry, but that's like, it makes me think that like people who invented tattoos were like, well, it's kind of like body scarring, but it's less painful. It's way better.
And it's more colorful.
And we can paint things too. Like, there's no, look at them. They don't even have any color. That is like some serious pain you got to go through to get that, and time. And the amount of pain that you're in for that amount of time. I mean, in a way, I think I would want to get it all done at once.
You're a brave man, Polly.
Like ripping off the Band-Aid, you know what I mean?
Oh, true, yeah, true. You'd be laying there for a while.
Right,
Right,
otherwise you're just going to have this nagging patch on your body that's being healed.
Yeah, I have to issue a warning for anyone, for any traditional, original Aboriginal people that are watching this show. The pictures I'm about to show you may be your relatives, deceased relatives. So please be aware, and we're doing this with all respect for education. Okay, so here we go. This is an initiated man. This is why I want Donnie here. I can't speak too much about it, all right? I'll just show you the picture. But if Donnie was here, he could talk more. Donnie, yeah. Donnie. Our tattoos are our modification, body scarring, for different reasons. Initiation, from young to adulthood, the pains and things we went through in life are put on our skin and expressed through these markings. The significant times of our lives that are put on the skin and expressed as these markings. So they're not just for one thing, they're for many things. These are the women's markings. As you can see, they're across the chest and on the arms. The women, we did it as well. My brother has scarring on his arms.
Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of, as a photographer, sometimes I look at people's faces and the wrinkles in their faces tell a story.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, but you can't really, you don't know what the story is. You just know the story's there.
Yeah.
But with these markings, it's almost like you could walk up to a person, look at them and see all those markings, and you would know something about them before you even spoke to them.
Exactly. That's what they're for, Polly.
That's so cool.
And that's just to show you that it still happens today. And then see how he's got his front tooth knocked out? They'll tell you only the men with their front teeth knocked out get the women, because that says he's a man. Hey, Donnie, now you bloody turn up, mate. Hang on, I'm just dropped the link in. We've been waiting for you, my brother. Wait a minute. Get your original body in here and have a yarn to us about this. And we're just waiting. Technique. Yeah. All right. So I opted for tattoo instead of traditional. Instead of that, I opted for tattoos.
Wouldn't it seem like that body scarring you'd be more at risk from some sort of an infection than tattoos? Because they would take longer to heal.
Oh yeah, and they're deeper, but they mean more. And you think about it, right? Think about some of the things you've been through in life, really deep emotional things. When you put it on your body, it would be a really deep emotional scar, right?
And some of them probably wouldn't even be healed yet, in my case.
Well, the welting is the healing. Like they would take a while. Yeah, well, you just add more. because that's the next version of the story.
Right.
Do you understand? They might be lighter. They might get lighter as you go on, but it's still affecting you, so you still get on. Okay. Ding dong.
Avon calling.
Yama, brother, Yama.
Yama, everyone.
Yama Johnny.
Yama.
So you've got a visual on the screen there, Brad?
Hey,
I said, have you got a visual on the screen?
yeah.
So you missed half the pictures. That's all right. We're just talking about our body scarring, our traditional body scarring. I was just explaining to the mob why we do it and the different reasons why we do it, right? And I couldn't comment too much because you weren't here.
Well, Holly really answered the question, no? When he was speaking about it there earlier when I was trying to get on. For knowledge.
Yeah, right. So it's almost like you're wearing your heart on your sleeve, but you're literally wearing your life story on your body.
Yeah, that's it. See, each one of them scars is a bit of knowledge that's handed to you. And every time you say it, you remember that knowledge. It's like a recording. Would that be a better word, like a recording? But he's gone through town.
Word, yes, that's
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what it's for. Yeah. So the more scarring, the more knowledge he knows. Yeah.
I have to write that down.
It's interesting. I wouldn't have thought of that, but it makes sense.
Yeah. It's like when you done something and you get a piece of paper for it, and you say it, you show that piece of paper that you know that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, well, that's basically the same. So each scar is a bit of knowledge that's been handed to him. And
would this be done in like sessions, kind of like giving him the knowledge and this much, absorb this much, and then come back, and then this particular scar is this information?
Yeah. There would be ceremonies over it too, as well. Yeah, don't ask me to do it. I'm a coward.
Yeah, it doesn't look very fun.
Yeah. I don't subject myself to pain.
It's a good way to be. I wear my scars on the inside.
Yeah.
Life initiates you, and it gives you pain scars, and they show on the people's body, like you were saying before. You know, the face marks and everything.
So, nerd question: are wrinkles scars?
In a way, yeah, they are. In a way.
Yeah, you could put it down like that too. Never thought of it that way.
I didn't either until I was just like sitting here looking at this picture and yarning with you, Donnie. It just, two things came to my mind, and it's like wrinkles. As we all age, we get wrinkles, and those are laugh lines. Those are stories that we have, that we walk around showing. And the other thing that came to my mind was death, because death of a departed loved one, that's like a tattoo on the heart. It's a scar that's there. You don't see it, but you know it's there. And then every now and then when you think about their memory, you think about the times. It's like a scar that you can feel.
Yeah, that's what these are. They're... Sorry, Johnny. My brother. So it's a story of many things. A story of the knowledge you know, a story of your life, the sorrows, the happiness, the ups and downs, story of your people. Like, yeah, it's a body story, virtually. A lot of Aboriginal people today wear tattoos, and they most of the time they will show you and they'll tell you their story through their tattoos. And the bigger the story, the more tattoos they have. Most of the time, some people just get drunk and go and get a tattoo, right? But most of the time, us mob will opt for tattoos instead of scarring. Plus, doing it this way, you have to do it the right way, eh, bro? If you ain't got the right elders around you, aunties and uncles, to do the ceremony and right, you can't do it. In our way, if you haven't got all the components to do a ceremony and spirit hasn't come to join you and the mother and father hasn't come to join you, if one of those components is missing, the whole ceremony is put off. We can call a gathering of a couple of hundred people for ceremony, over a couple of days, and they can all get there. They can be there for up to a week waiting for the right conditions for all them components to fall into place for the ceremony to begin. So something like this is an everyday thing. It has to come together. Like I said, these are modern day. Sorry for showing that again. I shouldn't be.
Like here's another way you could put it too, sis. If you run your finger over a certain scar on that gentleman's body there, you could basically, it's like a memory recall. You know what I mean? He touches that scar, he remembers what was given to him in knowledge.
That's right.
So basically the memory, it could also basically be a memory recall. Yeah.
Exactly. And it would evoke the ancestral DNA as well, as that knowledge was given to him or her, and it was put into the body and felt through the body into the spirit. It would have awoken the ancestral knowledge as well and connected them. So it's important. I suppose white fellas might have come here, Captain Cook got here and looked at our fellas and went, friggin' hell. He might have thought there was some kind of disease. I don't know. People think really funny about it, but when you hear why and how come, you see the practicality of it and you understand it. We do it today. People go and get a tattoo. Oh, my mum died, I went and got a tattoo. Or my best friend had a baby, or, you know, I got my kids' names. Modern day people do it similar way for similar reasons, just different.
Even with scars too.
Mm-hmm.
Like even scars that aren't intentional scars, like somebody gets a surgery, whenever they look at the scar, they're going to remember that's why they had that scars, because of the surgery, or you know, whatever the reason for the scar is, they'll remember why they got it.
And then there are people who actually will tattoo a scar.
That's right. And then I've been at parties and that where people have had a couple of drinks and you have a scar competition. Yeah, I got this one that fell off my motorbike. This one I did climbing this, or, you know, this one I got from that, and this one I got from that, and everyone starts pulling out their scars.
Yeah, they're like badges.
But that's what they're for. So now you know. We'll move along. They're our tribal markings. What else have I got for you? Yeah, so there's a bit of a privy. A lot of my mob wouldn't offer me for showing this to you, but I thought I just think that you just need to know, you know. Don't go scarring your body for any information. If anyone's watching this and thinks it's a great idea, don't go doing it. Like I said, there's a ceremony and everything involved. It's not just something that you do off the top of your head and think it's a good idea. It is not, nothing like that. So I don't recommend you go and do it. If you really want to mark your body for the reasons we've discussed today, go to your local tattooist, have a really good yarn to them, tell them your story, and they'll come up with a beautiful picture of your story, and you can have that put on. That's the safest way. So yeah, just a warning there. All right, people, where are we at? The half hour. We're gonna have a small break because I need a drink of water.
I need some coffee.
And I'm sure Donnie got late, but hang in there, Donnie, because we got the Black Mountain coming up. So
Oh, yeah, that one, eh?
yeah, eh? And all right. So there you go, people. And I'll play you some music. We'll be back in just a minute. We can wet our whistle. Wet our whistle, and we'll have some nice. Actually, I should have. Yeah, all right. So we'll be back in 2 minutes, people. Thank you for being patient, and thank you for joining us for that first part of the show. Alrighty then, I'm back. The other fellas are back when they're ready. So, just to get into the next segment, hope you're still here. What have we got for you? Oh, beautiful things. That's right, we'll just do some beautiful things while we're waiting for these fellas to come back. Where are we? Beautiful things, beautiful things. Here we are.
Here I am.
Hey,
Marco.
as you're coming back, take your time. Get rid of this, do some. All right, so we got some beautiful things here just to chill out. And next we're gonna show you some ancient jewellery that people actually sell today. You can go to this website and buy it. We'll have a quick look at that, and then we're going to Black Mountain in Australia. This place where people disappear. It's a really weird place. I'll get into the technical side about what the rocks are made of and all that stuff, and then we'll have a look at what I can remember about all the stories about people disappearing from there. And we've got Donnie who might know some stories as well. So we'll just go have a look at some beautiful things for the week. We're not going there. Where are we? Here we are. There we go. So this is a shake off the world. Forget about it for a while. Remember the beautiful things in life and what we're really here for. That's Aussie flower, by the way. Yeah, all of our flowers look like that. They're pretty hardy. You can dry them and they last for ages. I love that.
That's interesting. It's like a drama praying mantis.
I told you, I just had enough.
It's an LGBTQ praying mantis.
That was like a cross between a butterfly and a praying mantis.
I identify as a butterfly.
Broadway play. It's so weird.
Praying mantises are actually quite intelligent, eh? All right.
We used to make them fight each other in school.
Oh, you meanie.
I see a praying mantis. I pray and go the other way. They always creep me out.
Yeah, that one's for you too. I got one for you too, Donnie, at the end.
I like that.
Hey, we'll put a full screen in on because they're beautiful. We've got to look at them. Yeah. Oh, head I jump from that yet. That was a quick jump. Imagine standing in that, eh? Imagine standing that. Now, Polly, we always talk about sound and vibration and all that, right? And light, and the shape of things and how it all comes into to those things, right? Imagine standing in that, the energy that you get from the shape it's in the window, the light coming through, the colour. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, also the smoke. Clearly somebody's been smoking something in that room. Otherwise you wouldn't see the light, right? So yeah, that would be an incredible experience.
Yeah, it would be like a firecracker experience. It'd be awesome. Universal cosmic firecracker.
See, that the one thing about light and when it shows beams like that is it needs like a medium or else you won't see it. So there's definitely smoke or something in that room. But that's a really cool photograph.
It was me. I was vaping. Couldn't get off that strawberry aspirin.
Yeah, I mean, no, but seriously, if I vaped, that's the window I would want to vape in front of all the time. You'd be like, watch this.
It does pick up some amazing color patterns. I can personally attest to watching sunsets, and
I wouldn't mind sleeping in that. That'd feel nice. You'd have some good dreams.
Why do I all of a sudden have Dreamweaver? That came on in my brain.
You can actually buy them online. They're quite beautiful, I thought. Time devices. We still use them, man. We might be using them again in the future, the way things are going.
Like sands through the hourglass.
I don't know where Donnie is. We're up to the cars. There you are. That's actually
That's very unique. Are those actual mirrors on the car?
Yeah, that's a hearse from the 1900s.
Wow.
Hand carved wood. Hand carved wood. Hey, that's a way to go out, eh? Go out in style. Isn't it good?
Yeah.
Hey, the artwork people put in things in the past was phenomenal. It's so beautiful. Here's another one. Check that out. Imagine driving that.
Yeah, definitely.
Now we
eh?
just 3D print everything.
Yeah. There's no style or class in anything. Even the chess set, look at that.
I don't think, you know what? I think talent, like artistic talent, is being systematically bred out of the human
Yeah.
race.
Yeah, it's kind of what it seems like at times.
Especially when you go back and look at these old things and see, like, remember that somebody made that with their friggin' hands.
Exactly. Even going back to the very first books that were printed. I mean, when they figured out how to make paper and they actually made the first books, those old ancient books all around the spine, on the top, the bottom, and the side. Not the side that's bound, but those loose pages, they're all colored, and some of them actually are a picture just within the pages.
Yeah, I remember that. I've still got that somewhere, I think, that clip. So there you go. Beautiful things for the week, people. Remember the beauty in life. All right. So now, oh, that's right. We're going to have a quick look at some jewellery, ancient jewellery, and then we're going to Black Mountain, Australia, Queensland. Actually, Queensland. This place we're going to look at, Black Mountain, they call it the Australian Bermuda Triangle, right? So what I've realised is there's these triangles all over the world with phenomenon happening in them, whether it's the rock under the ground and surrounding area, in the ocean and the land, I'm not sure. Whether there's the others living there, I'm not sure, the visitors, but we'll check it out. But this is apparently in the Queensland Bermuda Triangle area, and we'll check out Black Mountain in a second. I'll just find this traditional, where are we, ancient jewellery here. This is actually online, and you can go and buy this stuff. And where are we? Here we are. It's called Fagan Arms. There we are. Fagan Arms, ancient and antique jewellery. When I started looking, after doing all the scarring and everything, like going into other people's traditional culture, and I was looking for stuff to show you, and I come across this, and I just sat there for like half an hour looking. I was telling Donnie, yeah, bro, you should check this out. And then I started reading underneath, and I wanted Sid should be here for this. A fine and very rare Viking sorcerer's pendant, they reckon. Look, so this is what they reckon they are. It's from the 10th to the 11th century, but it looks like it's a Rigiditch site. It's been around for nearly 60 years. Viking children. And wait till you see the armour and the helmets and the shields. I've got the whole page up. Hang on, make it a bit bigger for you there. So there's a lot of sorcery pendants and rings and stuff like that. A Viking shield ring. I had a silver one similar to that, a modern day version. I gave it to my daughter. There's another sorcerer's pendant. So some of them.
What's the monetary unit?
I think it's US. I don't know, probably.
That's US dollars? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Or euros, I'm not sure. I didn't even look at that. When I saw that, I thought, of course they're going to be worth that, right? Because they're pieces of the past. and they kept them because look at that, they're beautiful, bloody beautiful, I reckon. Anyway, that's a nice
Are these
ring.
like authentic? Did they come with like a certificate, an appraisal?
I presume so. You can go to Fagan Arms and check it out for yourself, but it looks pretty legit. It's all across, Europe and that. So that's why I wanted Sid to verify it. Look, these things are getting sold. That's from the 10th century.
That ring is gorgeous, but the size of that, if that's a ring finger, a lot of women back then probably had huge hands.
Oh.
That Nephilim blood.
Yeah, right.
Sausage
right,
fingers.
We forget that people were bigger in the past. There were big and small people, eh?
Yeah, that's not actually a bracelet. That's a ring.
Yeah. It's not that big. It's close up, right? It's a picture close up.
No, I was talking about the one that was up a little.
So this one, it says a fine Viking votive axe necklace. It might be a piece of an axe turned into a necklace. I don't know. There's a brooch turned into a necklace, protection one. Seen that before. There are a medieval sorcerer's pentagram ring from the 500 to 900 AD.
I'll bet you there's not many people. There's not many people that know how to make this stuff anymore.
No. Yeah, you could go and get it made. It wouldn't look the same though.
Like if you were to take away all, if you were to take away all the modern technology that we have now for metalworking, and try to make something like that, how would you do it?
There's a Roman one. Yeah, well, that's what I mean. It looked different because the tools are different than what they make it. The purity of the metal, the metal back then would have been way better than now because they would have.
Wow, right. that Roman horse head brooch, that looks awful lot like the ancient black sun that looks like a certain symbol.
Yeah. Or the whirling rainbow, that looks like the whirling rainbow. It looks like a lot of things, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Looks like
you know what I want to know is where did they get this metal from? Because Vikings are known for pillaging, right? So you could potentially be buying something that says it's Viking jewelry, but they could have stolen it from Egypt or something, or from somewhere else, wherever they sailed, and brought it back and then re-smelted it. So you never know what you're going to get from Vikings. They're like a box of chocolates.
Yeah. All right. So there you are. There's some of the rings. We'll check out some of the armour, eh? Yeah, look at that one. That's an Egyptian revival. All right, what else we got here? Let's check out some of the armour. Shields. That's not very much, $350, eh? Indian shield, Celtic shield.
You can buy a bulletproof vest for less than that, though.
What's that? It's Celtic mail segment. It looks like it's melted, look. Someone bought it. That's beautiful. Ethiopian shield. European.
That's cool. That Crusader's helmet's pretty cool.
Hey, check out this. Turkish mail. Ned Kelly, bro. Hey, Donnie, it reminds me of Ned Kelly, some of this.
Yeah, oh, Ned Kelly, hey.
Oh, that's just an armour plate, like that's just a connection bit. And these are just bits, and they're worth heaps. There's no price there. Oh, look, these are full armour. They reckon there's another theory about these so-called suits of armour. I've seen old drawings of people in suits of armour, and they're playing around with electricity, natural arcs of electricity similar to Tesla. And they used them for the giant lizards and stuff, as we call them, dragons, right? And they used to play around and train. They used to train in the castle grounds, and they had these big rings that would generate the energy, and they'd shoot them out of, it'd come out of their staff things, what are they called? Their jousting things, but they were made different. I'll try and dig those pictures up for next week and actually show you, because that's the world of alternative energy. But we'll go and have a look. But they say they use that, and they were fighting the big lizards, dragons, or the leftover giant lizards from the old world. That's what they reckon. And surprisingly, it looks awkward, but I've seen this stuff and how it's joined together piece by piece, and it's so bendy and manoeuvrable. It's quite surprising. I don't think, again, Polly, I don't think we could make that stuff today. Anyway, moving along. Here's a German horse thing to protect your horse. That's a good idea.
I wouldn't want to be wearing that stuff in a thunderstorm.
Hey, yeah, you try to rip it off real fast while you're running. I was surprised that there's still this stuff is still around, and they're selling it on the internet, and people are buying and selling amongst themselves, and it still exists, because we're lucky to still have things being around from all over the world. This stuff is. All right, so we can look at this all day. What else have we got quickly?
And who would have thought that chainmail would survive that long?
Yeah. What have we got? We'll just quickly go through it. There's Viking. The Viking stuff. See, spears, all kinds of stuff, bits and pieces. Our jewellery, our traditional jewellery, I actually make it, and we made ours out of the animals and stuff around us, so we didn't have flash things like this, beautiful stuff like this. Yeah, we didn't have it. So, anyways, what else? What's this? Oh, there we go. Some weaponry, some blades. Check that out. I know a lot of swords survived because a lot of men took them home to their families and they honoured them in all different countries, because I've seen a lot of swords from all different places. The spears, not so much, but for one to be in that good condition, that's pretty good. Now we've got the guns coming through, fellas, for the gun lovers. I'm a spear and a blade person myself. I'll check this one out. Oh, it's not real. That's a pretend one. That's a pretend one. It's nice that they tell you what's real and what isn't. That's what I mean. They seem pretty legit. Imagine finding this stuff, eh? A strong box. Yeah, that's what we need for the future, people. Something like that. Put stuff in it for the future, so when people forget the true history, they can dig a box up like this and find stuff in it that we've all put in all over the world about what's going on now and what's truth and what isn't. All right. Okay. The crimes against humanity and the mother should never ever happen again. All right then. So, look at that. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Hey, look at the craftsmanship in it. You've got to remember, to make a blade, it's got to be balanced and everything to work right. You can't just make a piece of metal and go, look, I've got a spear or a blade. It has to be balanced and everything. All right, I could spend all day looking at this.
I like that description, European or American sword.
Yeah, because they don't know.
Luna,
Yeah, my
Luna,
brother.
the screen's gone all green.
Your screen's gone green.
And so is you and what's it over there? I can't think of it.
Hang on. Where are you? No, you seem fine. Has everyone got a good view? Nothing's gone weird, has it?
No, I mean, I'm off camera now. Everything used to look the same to me.
All right, might be your phone.
It's gone all green.
Oh, might be your phone, bro. You're missing out on some good stuff here.
I'll jump off and I'll jump back on again and see what happens.
That may
Well,
fix it.
All right, I won't move too fast then, because Donnie will like this stuff.
Yeah. I'll be back in a sec.
Okay, I'll check the doorbell. Donnie is one of the few men that he could make this stuff, man. Some of the stuff we've been looking at, if you give him the resources, he'd probably make stuff like this. The amazing things he makes hands on.
Make things, you say?
Yeah, he makes things. Ingenious, yeah. That art is disappearing, like, as generations go by. In the future, we won't know how to make nothing. Oh, that's right, I'm waiting for him. I better check the doorbell. Yeah. Where am I going? Oh, I'm up there. Okay. It's not easy navigating all this stuff sometimes. All right. So when he gets back, we're going to go to the Black Mountains. All right. So that's just stuff. There you go. There's a quick look at that site.
Yeah, I've
Fagan Arms.
years ago in my hands, I've had antique weaponry. I've held a bayonet and a musket and the early I forget what kind of rifle it's called. The one you have to like actually a ramrod. You have to powder it.
I always see them and I look. You've got so many seconds that you're vulnerable to attack. Trying to ram this.
That's why I always get a chuckle in old pirate movies when you see the powder monkey and he's like passing the powder. It's like I get it.
Yeah, that's so true. I'll share this with Donnie.
Are we looking at chocolate chip cookies or ammo?
Oh, them, yeah, they're cannonballs, Jules. Hey?
No, actually, that's a grape.
Actually, that's the moon. No, I'm joking. They're the planets. No.
Wow.
No.
They did a lot of stuff in the Civil War. The hardtack.
Yep. Where are we? Okay, we're gonna go to Black Mountain when my brother gets back. All right. So I'll get rid of this. And I'll pull up the Black Mountain stuff. Oh, I got slides for Black Mountain and some literature. That's right. Devil's Marbles. I was going to do the Devil's Marbles too, but we haven't got enough time. The show will go forever. All right. All right. I'm just going to have to go to the slides and all that for brother. Come here. You back yet, bro? No, he's not. All right. So
Donnie, where art thou, Donnie?
Yeah. We want the Black Mountain.
Me, I'm itchy. I died last night and my scalp's itchy.
Oh, I'll just show that again. Because
hey, he's back.
Where we're going to show you isn't mine or Donnie's mob. It's in the next state above us called Queensland, going up towards the top of the coast. Me and Donnie's people are brother and sister mob. We shared cultures. Anyway, we're neighbours. So I'll put this up for what we're about to show you. Black Mountain. All right, so there it is from the map point of view, the sky. And there's a story, Aboriginal story that goes behind this. And it comes with warnings because there's things that live in there. I'm getting scared just thinking about it. I'm not going there. All right. So I'll show you some slides. I do have some literature. There isn't a lot because it's not my mob, so I can't talk too much about it, only what I've heard about the white fellas disappearing. Hey, Grub, Black Mountain. Yeah, here. Grub knows where Black Mountain is. See, Aussies know. We don't go there. what I found interesting, that little thing sticking up there, I got another view of it. It's all the same all over, but then you've got this little thing sticking up. And now there's lots of theories about UFO being under there, others living in there, little hairy men that eat you living in there, bad spirits that get you living in there. These really large snakes. Yeah, lots of things. There's lots of theories about in there. One thing we do know is people do go missing and they don't come back, and the people that go looking for the missing people don't come back either. And there it is. See how that's sticking up? Like, that's weird, that bit there, I thought. All the other rocks are all higgledy-piggledy, and that one's just sitting there jutting up like that. So the story goes, the Aboriginal story, back in the days when we were giants, there were two brothers, and they fell in love with the same woman. So they would argue and carry on. One day they decided to have a competition, and whoever won the competition would get the woman. The competition was who could make the biggest mountain out of boulders. So they worked hard day and night, and this is what came from it. Now, it looks all friendly and that from the sky, but we're gonna go in because the boulders are huge. So it does look like two giants just piled them up. Check that out. So in the background they look small, but when you actually get up close, they're huge. And that's all trees and that growing on them. Hardly any trees grow in this place, only around the edges. And it's been there for a very, very, very long time. Usually everything's grown over by now. Jump in at any time with my brother. So there's a fella looking in. Actually, when I saw this picture, I was quite surprised if he's still alive or not, this fella.
Well, Black Mountain always reminds me of 411.
Yeah.
Over where Jules and Polly are, people that disappeared in Boldfield.
Well, I'm here. I'm letting Luna show her slides, and this is something completely new I have never heard of, and I'm fascinated. So I'm here. I'm just listening to you guys because I'm learning something.
Yeah. It's one of the few places in Australia that you should not go to. And this is the one major one, Black Mountain, because there's a lot of people who have actually disappeared. But like I say, it reminds me of the story 411. In the stories over there in the States, people that disappeared around boulder fields. And even out here, people who've actually disappeared around boulder fields.
Those 411 stories.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it the gentleman called David Politis? Is that right?
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
So as you can see in that slide, that's a person compared to how big the rocks are. So it gives you an idea of how big these boulders are. There's been, I could say rumours and that, but this is fair income, right? This is real. I'm trying to get the side of the mountain. I think it's that side. Down here, on the right side and the bottom of the mountain, they reckon that people have found a doorway, like a cave entrance. And one bloke went in there and he said a story about these aren't traditional people. Traditional people wouldn't go in there, right? Our mob wouldn't go in there because we believe and know what's in there. We aren't going in there. Anyway, this fella, he was looking around and he saw this like cave opening, and he went in and he said the walls were smooth. They were granite, smooth granite. And I'm going to read out what the rocks and all that are made out of, the scientific part, in a second. It was made of smooth granite, and it just kept going on, and it would split off every now and again. And he said he was walking in there, and he was really freaking out. But he was amazed at what was in there, and there was a horrible smell. They all mentioned, everyone that's been in there mentions this horrible smell, right? And then he heard some noises, and he started getting scared, and kind of thought, I better get out of here. And then as he was getting out, he took the wrong turn, but he kept going, and he finally saw a sliver of light, and he went for it, and he popped out at a different entrance to where he went in from, and he realised he was underground for 5 hours, and he was lucky to come out. That's one of the rare people that have come out and told a story. Other stories are... Sorry, Gabe.
What was that? Oh, I had a bloke from my little town here. He went up there and he said he didn't want to come within 5 kilometres of it. And he said you could just feel the aura of it.
Yep.
And to me, it looks like a giant burial mound.
Does he?
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah.
We, in our tradition, in my mob, we put stones on the grave. So you put the person in your pack, and the more stones you have, the more honoured and respected you were. And my husband always makes jokes about throwing stones at me when I die.
I mean, I personally wouldn't go to it. Even hearing the name Black Mountain makes me think of black goo, the La Brea tar pits, anything that's a multitude of black and has black in its name.
So
Yeah.
I would automatically think twice about.
Yeah. Well, there is another place, Jules, they call Devil's Hole. There is a story about it, and people have actually drowned there or disappeared. But it's not as bad as this one here.
That's pretty bad then, because things that have the name devil in them, they're pretty serious. Like devil, I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's the Devil's Drive or Devil's something, Devil's Knuckle or something. It's this road that I frequently have to travel on, and it's one of those that after it's done, it's like, thank you.
Yeah.
Right, and as I was saying, the story goes there were 2 giants, and they were in love with the same woman. And this is from one of the tribal people up there. I can't play it because you can get into trouble, so I'll just read what he was saying. The granite boulders that are there today, when they each threw a rock, they killed each other. This is the story of the 2. So their pile of stones are still there today. The site of the very last spear fight between the black and the white cockatoo are symbols of their people, and they're the Kalkaja people, their mob, Kalkaja they call them. The white cockatoos are coastal clan groups. Black cockatoos, that's inland clan groups. So they had that fight over hunting land. Many people died. Their bones also remain in the mountains. They were put there. It's just as significant as the beaches of Gallipoli for that mob. A lady, one of the aunties there, said she feels like her great-grandmother is there. That's her country, where her grandmother told them that this is their mother's country, traditional owners, as I was told, to respect it. As for me, it's a sacred site, And for me, it's a sacred site. No one is allowed to go to that site. If they do, they will get very sick. It touches the soul, and to respect that is the most important thing. Disrespect is something that will haunt you for.
If you look at a different perspective there, Lena.
Yep.
It looked like a person laying on its side, on her side, him or her side.
Oh, yeah, I got ya.
You can see where the arm is.
Yeah.
Probably the right side he's laying down on, or left side. I'm not too sure, but that's what it looks like to me, like a person laying down.
Yeah, let's see another view and check that lens out, bro. Aerial view, got the no, it's hard to get good aerial view unless you go and get it yourself. There you are. And that's the arm. Is that right? Sticking out?
With the arm.
Yeah, right, eh? I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So what the traditional people are saying, that because of the bad spirits living up there, you'll get sick. Not only that, if you go to a traditional place and you wreck it, the traditional owners are affected by that because they're connected to the land, and it can make them sick as well.
Yes.
And the spirits and the ancestors are there, and because of the heaviness of what happened, other things live there as well. So what was another story? Oh yeah, there was a story, a whole heap of horses disappeared in there, and the guy went looking for him and he disappeared, and then his mate went to see where he was and he disappeared, and that's how everyone started realising something was going on there. And they probably went and asked the black fellas, what's happening. They would have said, bad spirit, don't go there. There was another traditional story I heard where they taught the children not to go there after 4 p.m. in the afternoon because there's little hairy men, bad little hairy men that will steal the children and eat them. So the local mob, that's what they tell their story. But a lot of the stories say there's something in there. And when these people go missing, they don't scream, there's no struggle, stuff like that. So whatever they're seeing is really scary. Another guy, he went looking for his mate. He started to go in and he came back in shock. And he couldn't describe what he saw, but he just said he saw something. He obviously didn't know what he saw, something horrible. There's another story where people camped by there in more modern times. And they said they were camping at night, and then they started hearing noises like footsteps. And when they looked, it was like a dark, shadowy thing that was coming towards them. And they kind of freaked out, packed up, and left. A more modern day story was a backpacker. A backpacker went up there. He didn't even go in anything. He sort of stuck his head in one of the holes, and then he just fell dead. And they found his body dead on the ground, and there's no reason for him to be dead. Like, they didn't find a reason why he died. He just dropped dead. So whatever's in there is pretty bad. Pretty bad. What else are the stories? They hear noises and that comes out of it, and some say it's just the wind whistling through the hollows of the rocks. Because as you can see, when you get up close, see how the wind would blow through there, and like that's just, man, that fella's brave or ignorant, I'm not sure. So there's definitely stuff in there, right? And there's moss growing on it, and it's actually quite beautiful. But we'll look at I'm trying to find the scientific stuff, what the rocks are made of, and all that kind of stuff. I do have that information.
It looks like grey granite, isn't it?
Yeah, it's granite, yeah. It tells you sizes and all that stuff. I'm not meant to do it. My brain's starting to fry from doing all this reading. I do have a little bit of stuff. Oh, the plains. Avoid going near it too. They find odd air turbulence when they fly over it, so they try not to fly over it either. So it not only affects things on the land, it's affecting stuff in the air.
It makes me wonder if all these vortexes, like Black Mountain, Bermuda Triangle, all those other anomalies, if somewhere they're connected. I mean, there are portals, but is there a place where portals can connect?
Yeah, obviously there would be energy places. It says that their planes get navigational malfunctions and stuff when they go over it, so they can't go over it.
That might be Barrington Tops then.
Yeah, and there's UFO activity there too, they reckon. Strange lights. They could be the mini lights, but who knows, because they live in the rock crevice. They reckon could be the others living in there and it's actually a base.
Yeah. Does it say anything about Yowie activity around that area there?
Not written. I'm having a look at written stuff, but I did hear the story about the little hairy men that take the children and eat them, and that's a local story. There are some animals that you don't find anywhere else. I'm just having a read.
That's interesting.
Snakes, birds, disappearances. Oh, here we are. Disappearances. What was the question you asked me again, brother?
Which one? Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yowies.
Oh, hairy. Yeah.
Hairy colour, no.
Yeah, no, I got some information, but don't say hairy fellas. They said there's a police officer worked in the area and he was looking for a fugitive. He lost the trail outside the caves. The constable decided to enter and look for him. The police officer and the fugitives were never found again. And no one wanted to go look for him.
So Luna, Polly dipped out. He left a message, and I'm pretty sure you haven't seen it because you've been preoccupied. So he is going to reboot, and he'll be back. I'm just reminding you to keep an eye on your doorbell because I can't hear it ring.
Thank you. Okay. Yep. And we're getting to the half-hour mark. Where was I?
All right. You went translucent there a bit for a while, Jules.
Ooh.
Translucent, as in I shapeshifted. My camera every now and then apparently is glitchy.
Okay.
Okay.
Either that or I have spirits here with me, which I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. I thought it might have been the camera or something, but you did definitely go translucent there for a second.
Interesting.
Yeah, so many stories of people going in there and people go and look for them and they disappear. There's heaps of them. The activity subsided towards modern day. It started to lessen for some reason. And given what's happening in modern day, I thought maybe that had something to do with it. Like everything's more active and out there. But at the beginning of the century, in the 1930s, 1920s, and that there was just mass people. And then as time came to where we are, it's getting less and lesser. I think because people know not to go there, maybe. And no, there's never any bodies found. This is one of the major things too. So they're taking the bodies. The whole bodies are going. There's nothing found. Even the animals, there's nothing left behind. And they reckon giant snakes are there, but giant snakes actually cough up the bones and stuff like that. They only eat part of it, only digest part of it, and they'll leave the rest. You would find something. especially from the animals. So it makes you wonder how big or how many things are in there.
Well, I'm going to go on Jules' idea. It's a portal.
Yeah, and they just totally disappear.
Which dimension they go to, I don't know.
No, either do I.
I obviously don't know either. But with so many similarities, it just kind of makes me wonder if somehow they could be connected.
Possibly. And the guys that camped there and saw the dark thing, that was in 2000, more recent. And me and Donnie have told you, when you're in the bush and everything goes quiet, there's something seriously wrong. And that's one of the things they noticed. Everything went dead quiet, and then they heard the footsteps and they saw this dark thing coming towards them. So,
Like at Moonby Lookout, sis.
look out.
The Moonby Lookout, when we went there, everything was dead quiet.
Oh, yeah, that's right, eh? Yeah, there's something
Yeah.
there. There's something there looking at you and watching you, and everything knows except you. And no one's going to say anything.
Yeah, every time I've gone up to Moonby Lookout, it's dead quiet.
Yeah,
No birds, no nothing.
yeah, that's because other things live there.
Yeah.
So that's basically what we have. All the stories are similar. Different people at different times. Some with animals, some without. Gone missing. Other people looking for them go missing, and it gets to the point where no one dares to go look for them. So I'd say the incidents have subsided over that. No one knows to go up there. Don't go up there, you'll go missing too. Don't go looking for them, you'll go missing too. So,
Yeah.
all right. Is Polly back yet? No doorbell. So, all right. So that's that. I hope you enjoyed the visit to Black Mountain, Queensland, Australia.
Yeah, again, I had a fun trip
And
and with no jet lag.
ha ha ha. That's funny. So what I do have for you now, as we wind up, so we're just going to all relax now, nothing really formal. Have a yarn, and I'll show you some funny Australian animals and what they sound like. And some cute stuff. And then we'll roll it up, wrap it up. So we've been here forever. All right, so I've got a few of these things to show you here. That's our wombat. Cute wombat fella. His mum. They're only short, but there's a few of them. Hang on. This is our koala.
I want to pet the Buddha's belly.
Beautiful things in life. All right, what do we got for you next? Oh, ever wondered what one of them sounded like? Oh no, this is another. Watch this. This is funny. This is a wombat, baby wombat.
You can come with me and scratch your butt on my back. That was the silliest thing in the world.
All right, what else we got for you? 1, 2, 3, 4. The one where he sound. Oh, this is funny. Hang on. This is a kookaburra, a wild kookaburra. This guy's gone fishing, and he's decided just to jump on his shoulder and hang out with him for the day. So, listen to this.
That's to be the most Australian thing ever. You're out fishing for cod in the nice, beautiful little river. Won't name it. Sure, those who know who it is. Can't really flick the camera around, but just fishing with a wild kookaburra.
Check it out. Just sitting on his shoulder there.
He's happy. I guess I'm happy. Hasn't taken my eyes out yet, so.
He hasn't poked his eyes out yet.
That's a curry fella, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a curry fella you're sitting on.
Yeah, he's a black fella, yeah.
Yeah. That would have been his totem.
Yeah.
His kin.
Yeah, that's right, eh?
Yeah.
It would have been his kin.
Yeah, we were talking. We briefly hit on that last night about totems.
Yeah, we're having a yarn about totems yet. We should do a show on totem. I should get a few of us, and we'll talk more about totems. I'm looking for the koala bear. What it sounds like. Just give me a minute.
It's all good. I can watch wombats all day.
Ah. Yeah, I think of you when I see the wombats. Because of
the groundhog cousin.
Yeah, because of the groundhog.
I guess that would be the equivalent of a groundhog in Australia.
Hey. What the hell? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, look, I can't find it now. What he sounds like. I saved it. It must have disappeared. That happens. I sit here in the night, get everything set up, get up in the morning, and some of the things have disappeared. It's like, where did that go? And I do, yeah, all right. So we're going to move on now because I can't find it, right? Oh, this is terrible. This is where my terrible. Oh, I can't find it. Sorry about that, people. I had the noise of a what noise the koala makes. I'll try and find it for next week. So, all right.
If you do a search for it up there, if it'll bring up anything.
Probably. I was going to tell you, about my week with nature. I'll tell you a little story before we go.
The Ides of March.
All right. The Ides of March? No. All right. Get rid of that first. Let's get back to it. Holly's not here. Let's put the fire up. Oh, I've got some slides. That's right. I'll quickly show you the slides and we'll put the fire up and I'll tell you the story. Ding, ding, ding. Here we are. My week with nature. So, surprisingly, the week began pretty normal, and then I got a knock on the door. It was my neighbour. And my neighbour goes, "Can you help us?" I said, "What's wrong?" She goes, "My daughter's cleaning up her bedroom and she wants to paint it and there's a big spider on the window." I went, "Oh, yeah, how big?" Because most people that are scared of spiders, the spider's like only that big. And they go, "Oh, it's a big spider, right?" Or "It's only that big." And they go, "Oh, it's a big spider." That's not a big spider. I said, "How big's a spider?" They went, "It's a huntsman." I went, "Oh, no worries." So I'll show you. That's what a huntsman looks like. And that's about how big it was. As big as your hand. So it goes up there and he's sitting on the window. And when they're comfortable, they flatten out like a piece of paper. So sitting on the window flattened out like a piece of paper. And so I went in there and I got a big round container and a piece of cardboard. And what you do is you put the container over them and you just slide the cardboard underneath real slow because you don't want to hurt their legs, right? And then they go in the container and you chuck them outside. So I told him that's what I was going to do and he was all for it because he didn't want to be there. I put the container up, and they kind of jump into the container because they want to leave. Man, he was that big, you could hear his little feet tapping on the container as he was running around, eh? And my neighbours were freaked out, but I wasn't. So I thought that was the end of the excitement for the week. And then I was out the back, and I got a little pond out the back, and I got frogs and blue-tongued lizards in the backyard. That's what the pond's for. And I saw something move in the pond, and I thought, oh, I wonder what, something's swimming in my pond. I thought it was one of the lizards that fell in and had trouble getting out. So I'm swooshing around the pond looking for this lizard so I can pull it out and save it. There was nothing in there. Scratched my head and thought, all right, I came inside. I went back outside and I thought, whatever's in the pond, I'll sing it out. So I sat there singing, and everything was real quiet. I'm just finding the slide appropriate. No, that's not it. Oh, damn, hang on. I sat there singing, and out of the water, that's what I saw. A little head pop out of the water. And then I realised, shit, I just had my hands in that pond swimming around, and there's a red-bellied black snake in my pond. One of these, a red-bellied black snake. Okay, that's a full-grown one, right? Freaked out. That's what it looked like. It was cute as, honestly, and these things think I'm its friend, and it actually was come towards me later on in the day to make friends with me because I sang to it. And I've got other animals and that, and they're all fine. They are highly poisonous, and their temperament is pretty cool. Like, they're really shy and timid, but if you accidentally step on them or something and they bite you, you're going to die, right? So this is at my back door, by the way. This is happening, and we're walking in and out the back door all day long. I realised how big it was. It was about that big, and which is like a teenager size. Okay, so I rang the snake catchers and paid $300 for him to come out and pick it up so we can take it back down the river. The damn thing heard me made the phone call. When this guy arrived, he was nowhere to be found. Anyways, that's what they look like full grown. We come back inside, and this is like over the course of 3 or 4 days of this happening. I'm going outside, seeing where he is, trying to get rid of him in the fella. Went through the backyard, couldn't find him. I'm standing in the kitchen that night, and I thought, what a complete waste of money. And then it dawned on me, my totem is black snake, right? And I thought, oh, that's one of my ancestors. And as I looked out the window, he comes sliding across the door, across the back gate, right, the fence. And I thought, and I haven't seen him since. So he was one of my ancestors, and he wasn't supposed to be caught. But my poor animals are on alert. They go outside and they're looking like this, looking for this fella swimming in my pond, because they're that dangerous that they use other snakes. So that's a brown snake, which is another very, very deadly snake. They're grumpy, and you don't go near them at all. Like the little red belly, he was pretty happy. The brown snakes are grumpy as. You can't make friends with them. They'll chase you and hunt you down. But the red bellies, if they're around, the browns won't come in because the red bellies eat them. And Donnie, you there, bro?
Yeah, I'm here.
Do you want to tell them about the blue?
Yeah, there's unfortunately my son had to, at work, he had to kill a blue belly black. Inside the blue belly black was a brown snake. This blue belly black had eaten a brown snake. Red bellies, I know they are cannibals, but I didn't know the blue belly black ones were cannibals as well. Yeah. Which is really unusual because I never knew they were cannibals.
Yeah, I did, bro, because that's what I knew. I knew why they were around. I felt safe because I knew he was the only snake that would be around, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and the blue-tongued lizard out the back, he come running from my back door. He wanted to come in. He didn't want to be out there either.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel if it was a different kind of snake, man, I would have freaked out, I reckon, because,
Yeah.
you know, they're not so friendly. But that's weird for a friendly snake like that to fight the other most dangerous snakes and come out king. It makes you wonder how it'd go up against another snake from another country, eh?
Yeah.
Whether
Yeah, well,
them as well.
yesterday when I had to go out to my sister's place, they live way out in the bush, about 20 k's out of town. And anyway, I walked out onto the veranda, and I looked down, and there's this red belly black just sunning itself, minding its own business. Yeah, my brother-in-law chucked a shovel at it and then went up into the bush and then got away from everything.
Yeah, they're shy. They'll run away, make any noise.
Yeah.
Where ended up? How close to the house was it?
From here to the kitchen door, probably about 4 or 5 feet.
Yeah, too close. Too close.
Yeah, well, just before that, sis,
Yeah,
I was actually up beside the hill where my sister's house is, and I think you probably know, the pretty face wallaby.
Yep.
Yeah, it was feeding there, and it had a little joey in its pouch.
Oh, how
Yeah.
cute.
Mm.
Yeah, nature's
Yeah.
been really friendly, eh? Yeah, Grub had a little bird on his head. So nature, yeah, that's a beautiful part of life. I forget what I was going to say now. I'm going to put the fire on. It's a long show, people. Long show. Chill out and, hang on.
Polly coming back?
Eh?
Is Polly coming back?
He said he was going to reboot.
Yeah, he hasn't come back, but that's all right. We're at the end of the show. So, I was going to say something else. I forgot now. That's all right. Something about the snake. But it's all cool. So that was my eventful week with nature. Oh, yeah, I was going to say something about close to the house. If it was somewhere else, I wouldn't have worried about it because it would have come in the back door because it was so freaking friendly, man. Oh, that's right. That night I went out to see where it was. The cat, and they met the cat. The snake and the cat actually nearly touched noses and met each other, and they both realised what each other was. And the cat jumped up in the air, and the snake left that fast. He got tangled in himself trying to get away. It was really funny. So that was an up close and personal week with nature. So that's all I got for you, people. Big long show, 2.5 hours. Woo. I had to take stuff out.
Oh, it seemed to be interesting. So which one of you whispered to me when I was bloody doing something else and I forgot about you?
Oh, that would have been Jules. She magic job, mate.
Was that you, Joe?
Telling you.
It was me.
Well, I heard you. Yeah, we're doing something else. I forgot all about you.
Yeah, I figured that. I was going to actually.
I said it 3 times once, and then I waited a little bit, and then I said it again, and I think Polly said something too, or Luna said something, and within a minute or two, you showed up.
Yeah, I think you forgot
So
about
I'm not native, but I'm working on my skills.
Jules is good for that, calling someone up. Well, that's all we got for you this week. I hope you come next week. I don't know. I got to work all this week, right? So just look out. I can't give you 100% for next week. I'll let you know. I'll leave a message somewhere Yes, there is a show. No, there isn't. I'll let you know. Yeah, so everyone take care. Stay centered and strong and deadly, as we would say. Our mum would say, stay strong and deadly. That's what we'd say. And deadly
Yeah,
doesn't stay strong and deadly, yeah. Till next week, and maybe next week, and we'll see what happens. We'll find some more interesting stuff for you.
I have no idea what the week's going to bring, but it's
who does?
Can't be any worse than this past week.
We're in the Ides of March, so anything can happen. Anything can happen.
This is true. We didn't even talk about St. Patrick's Day and how St. Patrick's Day really wasn't how St. Patrick really wasn't a saint.
Yeah, I forgot about St. Patrick's Day. I shouldn't have forget about that because I've got Irish blood in me, as well as blackfella blood, mate. Yeah, St. Patrick's Day. So, all right then. We'll rock it out, and we'll see you next time. Before we go, Jules, thank you for coming. Anything you want to say about anything we showed today? Or?
No, I mean, as usual, thank you for having me. Fantastic show. I learned stuff.
Yeah.
I have nothing. I know you're going to ask. I have nothing on my horizon. I have a couple of personal matters to take care of, and then I'll see where my week lands.
Well, hope you have a good week, Jules. I'll be in touch with you. Anyway.
I strive.
Hope you out there watching later. Hope you have a good week. And Donnie, thanks for making it, bro, and being with us and giving us that information.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, that's all right. I don't know what's going on next week, but I'll see if I can jump on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. It's all good. And Polly, watching the end of this, thank you, my brother, as usual, for coming on. And just remember the music at the beginning of the show, which I'll be using, is from Polly. And yeah, love you on this day. Stay centered, stay strong, stay deadly. We'll see you next week. We're going to rock it out. You can watch the fire while we rock it out.
Oh, I got one more thing.
One more thing.
Yeah, I want to say thank you to everybody showing up in chat.
Yeah,
it's a horrible habit. Me and Luna were actually talking about this before we were streaming. We were expressing how we feel guilty that we don't spend enough time in chat, and it's like we kind of have guests in a way to entertain and chat, and it's a balancing act. And when we're like heavily in conversation or in thought, I can't speak for Luna or anybody else, but I kind of forget that I have a chat room there because I'm focusing my attention to whoever I'm talking with. So you guys are always there. Thank you for showing up. You are loved, and I got nothing else. I just wanted to give credit where it's due because we do have a peanut gallery.
Yes, and Jules saves my ass every time. I want to thank Ken, how you going, my bro, and Grub and Joe, and Forever Flowers. Some others in there, Polly, obviously because he's not here. And oh wow, we had a good chat. So yeah, I want to say the same thing. We do appreciate you being there. We want to interact with you more, but I want to also give you something interesting to look at and stuff. But anyway, we love you. We'll see you next time, and take care until next time. We'll rock it. Where's me rock it out?
So yellow,
and thank you, Jules, for that reminder.
Stay safe, deadly.
Yep. Hey.